It's on to season 7, the penultimate season in the Next Generation era. It actually started on January 14th, 2008 and ended June 23rd, 2008 with 24 episodes. It's kind of weird how in Canada it actually started in late 2008. I think there was a issue and all that. So anyway, this 24 episode season deals with the spring semester of the school year and basically deals with rape, that being Darcy, school violence, I don't know who has school violence, cancer, that being Spinner, drug use, many characters I guess, prostitution, I think it's Alex, um, sexual misconduct, Simpson allegedly on Darcy, but Darcy was lying through her teeth, racism, that probably is something that Damien might be facing, sexism, don't know, parenthood, that being Mia, I guess, HIV, that being Patriot Griffin, and relationships. Season 7 was in Mondays at 7:30 on CTV and all that. And the end had it on Fridays. They started airing in October 2007. And 16 episodes were there in the US before Canada even started. So obviously there was probably something else. There were 2 special episodes that were not part of the Degrassi continuing. Degrassi in Kenya said the cast members went to Africa to assist building a school. It was put on MTV Canada. And then Degrassi of the Dead was a Halloween special, and the characters turned into zombies. So anyway, viewing figures for season 7 were not as high as previous seasons. Figures were down 46% and all that. Emma appeared in the most episodes with 18 out of 24. Manny 17, Spinner 14. So anyway, the reception was not good with the viewing numbers. Mr. Joe Rubinoff of The Record said that it's remaining constant in its ability to shock and surprise in a way that never lets the viewers down. Sinead Grimes makes her depiction not only believable, but for people who have similar experiences, relatable. Yeah, so anyway, Marco was actually named one of the top 25 gay TV characters by AfterElton.com. Anyway, in episodes, Canadians had to wait till the 13th episode to do one before the Americans. That's kind of strange. Anyway, Standing in the Dark led off season 7. The Degrassi students returned from winter break to find the school merged with Lakehurst because of a fire and all that. Toby is angry over Lakehurst's presence so soon because of JT's death and lets his feelings be known through his podcast. But he starts to back off a little bit, saying that, Degrassi and Lakehurst have to get together. I actually wanted to do like a fanfic about the fact Degrassi Lakehurst, and that Hatzalakos basically tells the students to get along with each other and forces some people who were dealing with the JT situation, both from Degrassi and Lakehurst, to come to a seminar and basically try to make nice with each other. Anyway, Darcy dates Peter despite the parents' disdain from both parents. Darcy feels like she and Peter connected at a party, but unfortunately, when a roofie rapist is spread, the rumors were spread in the area, she comes to terms with the possibility she might have been raped. Love is a Battlefield is up, and this was Alex's swan song. Paige gets a job as a fashion assistant, and Alex doesn't help around. But basically, the relationship is threatened. Paige's job and Alex's attitude. Meanwhile, Manny wants to pick things up when she left off with Damien, but unfortunately, they don't agree on a unified Degrassi Lakehurst student body. Basically, Damien wants Lakehurst to have a separate graduation than Degrassi. I think that's what happens, though, too. Next episode is called It's Tricky. Ashley wants to practice music again because she doesn't get credit for a song she wrote on Craig's album, but Jimmy outshines her. Mia has problems with Holly J because they want to deal with Sav's affection. Basically, it's a Lakehurst storyline. And Holly J basically is kind of tricky. Death or Glory is when Spinner starts to get into fights with Lakers people at school, but unfortunately he feels pain in his groin and he has testicular cancer. Spinner is trying to be himself, but he's doing himself in before his illness might kill him because he acts up recklessly, picks fights with Lakers. Meanwhile, Darcy believes she has come to terms with her rape, but unfortunately she can't do it, and she acts out terribly. Anyway, Marco begins to accept that Dylan is gone and decides to socialize with other people. We got the beat. The 7th episode is Manny's 18th birthday is approaching. Oh, debut. Oh, it's a Filipino thing. 18th birthday debut. It says it's a traditional Filipino coming of age celebration when celebrates a young woman's 18th birthday in the Philippines. And weary of her father's insensate micromanagement of her life, she invites Jay to try to ruin the event and basically get her father to basically back off the micromanagement. Jimmy finds somebody in physical therapy that likes him for him and doesn't really like Ashley's betrayal. Jesse's girl is when Caitlin comes back to Toronto for a guest lecture, and Ellie basically is angry that Caitlin and Jesse hook up. Meanwhile, Mia wants Anya to stand up to Holly J, which perfectly encapsulates a few things for me. I know I wrote on a Degrassi Reddit post about the fact that I felt bad for Anya because basically Holly J uses Anya to get her own way and knows that Anya will probably not stand up to herself and all that. Yeah, Holly J, when she was insulted by Allie, she basically wants Anya to basically solve the problems. Meanwhile, in Hungry Eyes, Emma is, of course, tired of being predictable, and so she basically tries to be a model for Purple Dragon. She wins it, but unfortunately the hypocrisy of the company makes her make a choice. Meanwhile, Mia wants Sav to help her better in badminton and basically as some kind of relationship thing. So yeah, this was when Emma wins the Purple Dragon model thing, but Purple Dragon has strict rules and all that. Even something about weight. And Emma, of course, dealing with an eating disorder 2 seasons prior, had problems. But then she decides to back off, saying that I should eat what I want. Basically, I think Emma learned her lesson from the eating disorder. Basically, Purple Dragon is angry about Emma's complacency and basically says, when you wear the Purple Dragon dress, you're going to do it our way. Emma says, fine, then I won't wear the dress. And she takes it off. It's like, Emma gets many detentions for her standing up thing. She doesn't get suspended or expelled. And Purple Dragon does have a contract with Degrassi, but they basically changed a lot of clauses and all that. I think they learned that, they were going to away with it. Hatch the Duchy is when Spinner is trying to cope with the effects of cancer and chemo and actually starts smoking pot, but Jane gets turned away, and Spinner hangs out with Darcy. So anyway, Marco in episode 11, owner of a lonely heart, basically is low on cash and actually considers prostituting himself. Okay, so that was Marco in prostitution. Manny grows closer to Jay and wants a sham engagement to keep her meddling parents at bay. It kind of does work, but they actually get a priest and all that. I think they're basically doing their charade. Live to Tell is when Darcy really starts to descend down a self-destructive path of lies, promiscuity, and disturbing behavior that could cost her everything. Jimmy is tired of relying on Ashley for everything, and basically Trina helps him spread his wings. Bust a Move is when Manny wants to go to Smithdale, which has a great acting department. But after an argument, Jay wants revenge and switches her audition tape with a sex tape. Manny finds out what Jay does and is furious, but Jay actually arrives at Smithdale too late and finds out Manny blew her audition. Jay wants to correct his wrongdoing and win Manny back. Jay has a conscience. Meanwhile, Darcy's parents send her to brat camp and is faced with lessons of discipline and self respect building exercises. Practically, they do this. It's kind of tough love, and Darcy realizes her being raped and all that, and basically how she basically acted terribly. I know that Darcy was trying to hide the fact she was raped because she wanted to be pure and all that, and she had a little bit of pressure put on her by her parents, but it all works out. Melissa McIntyre. So I guess Ashley's out of the picture after Busted Move Part 2. Got my mind set on you is when Danny and Derek do some kind of class assignment, and then Emma finds it hard to deal with the false accusation made against Snake, and Snake basically not going back to school. Damien offers comfort. She develops feelings for him. So anyway, in Sweet Child of Mine, Mia finally gets a spot on Spirit Squad. But unfortunately, she has to deal with her parental responsibilities because she still has Isabella, and Lucas is not willing to help you. So anyway, Manny and Jay's relationship is going well, but Manny wants to meet Jay's parents. Talking in your sleep is when Paige and Griffin have sex with each other, but unfortunately, she's scared for her life when she finds bottles of medicine in his room to deal with HIV and all that. Jane tries to get closer to Darcy, but friendship needs to be helped. Another brick of the wall is when Snake is finally allowed back to work, even though the allegations were made. And Darcy did pull back. I don't know why. He receives a cold welcome from the students and he couldn't handle it. Holly J wants to help Toby tutor her. And actually likes him, but he turns her down. Why, Toby? Why? Broken Wings is when Jimmy gets into his dream school and wants to have stem cell surgery to regain use in his legs. His dad basically wants him to be a basketball player and all that, and Jimmy decides to lash out at his father. Peter tries to start a band with Sav and Danny and Spinner. Ladies' Night is the third last one. Oh, no, sorry. I can think it's 24. 20. When Anya is put in charge of the children fast and tries to make Holly and Jay and Sav get along. When her plan fails, Anya is thrust into a battle against the Queen Bee. Jay and Manny actually try to get their engagement ring from a pawn shop. The man from Free the Children, Craig Kielberger, actually appears. I remember doing a project about Craig Kielberger about Free the Children back in grade 10, if memory serves me right. Everything She Wants is next. Mia is trying to get back on track with the help of Lucas, but when Lucas says she has to live a little, Mia faces the consequences, and Mia could end up losing her child because of it. And with Lucas not being a positive role model, things happen. But anyway, Sean is back on leave from the military and stays at the Simpson Nelson household. And finally, tries to talk to Manny and all that. Emma and all that. Don't Stop Believing is the 22nd episode, and it's when Paige, Marco, and Ellie are going their separate ways. Marco and Ellie realize how much they depend on each other for everything, leading to some kind of strange night. Liberty and Damien want to be class valedictorian. I guess they put both things in there. Anyway, if this is it, is when Spinner appears to put his future in jeopardy when he chooses to play in a band competition or studying for his final exam. And Manny is actually offered a role on a TV show. She has to choose between following her dream or going to Smithdale with Emma. And then We Built the City was the end of an era, a massive era, when the class of 2007 graduates. Liberty has an attraction to Damien, and I guess being both A-types and all that, they basically know each other well. Toby outs Liberty as someone who has done something bad. So anyway, yeah. And Liberty thinks that Emma's going to blow a gasket. But Emma, realizing that, she couldn't be like Liberty in season 4, when, the Chris situation basically says that Damien's the piece of shit, not her. And basically tells Liberty that she wasn't going to break her friendship. So, and Manny says, everyone makes mistakes, Liberty. So anyway, Peter wants to stay in Toronto with Darcy. But unfortunately, Hatzalakos has to head back to Regina to deal with her ailing mother. So she doesn't know. So he doesn't know what to do. He tries to get emancipated and all that. Natasha Bedingfield actually sings what 2 or 3 songs in this episode. She actually does make a guest appearance, which shocks me. It actually shocks me too because, in a sense, because truth be told, with me working at Shoppers Drug Mart, I sometimes hear Natasha Bedingfield songs like Unwritten. There's like 3 or 4 songs that she sings and all that, and it always gets me back to Degrassi for in a Degrassi mood somehow. So anyway, the season 7 MVP is Darcy. I mean, Darcy went all over the place in season 6 and 7, but anyways, how Darcy and all that was a key figure. Being with Peter, that's toxic, but Peter is willing to change his tune. I think because he knows that his behavior is why girls don't want to be with him. Manny and Emma, among others. So anyway, Darcy, deals with the rape and all that. Basically, she hides it because she wants to be pure and all that, and she feels that she's going to be downtrodden by her family. That's kind of awkward. But in the sense of it, Darcy does get back and becomes a respectable person. Season 7 villain? That's a question. Good question. I think it's Damien for sure. I mean, Damien's weird behavior cost him 3 girls: Manny, Emma, and Liberty. Basically, they all band up to teach Damien a lesson. I mean, Damien is a scumbag and all that for dating 3 girls and basically leaving them all high and dry. So he's my villain. So anyway, this ends the Next Generation thing. I know people say, well, season 8 and 9 was also Next Generation, but I'm like, well, they were in the college days. I don't really count them in high school. So anyway, season 8 will be coming up soon enough.